Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane and today we are on part 2 of Longdong, a rock climber's paradise.
That's right, we'll be learning more about this wonderful place, right?
Yeah, remember in part 1, we had a rock climber who was talking about this magical, wonderful place. It's just a paradise to go and rock climb there.
Exactly, because it's got cliffs and
near
caves.
Near the sea. That's the part that I think is the coolest. So
yeah, me too.
It makes me kind of interested. I think I might be getting a little bit too old to take up the hobby of rock climbing. My wife probably wouldn't let me do it.
It is a little bit dangerous, but I can just imagine what a beautiful view it would be.
I think just getting up near there, and maybe you don't climb the rocks, but you watch other people rock climb.
I think I'm okay with that.
And then you just look at the beautiful view.
Yeah, exactly.
And watch them challenge themselves.
I won't be in danger.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we're talking about, like rock climbers paradise though, right?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever done something very, very risky in your life when you were a little or when you're a little bit older?
It just happens that climbing was really my thing when I was young. I used to love to climb buildings. And like sometimes when they were like building a building, I would like go in there maybe like after the time they got off work, and then go and explore and climb around in there like a little monkey.
That sounds really, really dangerous.
And I would climb my own apartment building. Like I climbed to the top of my apartment building, which wasn't easy, by the way, but I was really like a monkey. And it was pretty dangerous, but I just loved it. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I guess people who find rock climbing exciting is probably because of that too. They really enjoy doing something that's a little bit, doing something a little bit risky,
Thrilling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into this part 2.
All right.
The first time I went to Longdong was pretty magical. When I got out of the car, I found myself on top of a cliff high above the sea. As I walked, I got some breathtaking views of the rocks and ocean below. Then I hiked down a steep trail to get to the bottom.
Okay, as promised, part 2, Longdong, a rock climber's paradise. Take it away, Karen.
Okay, let's start the article today. The first time I went to Longdong was pretty magical.
But you went to Longdong?
No, this is the author
this is still
talking.
the author talking about it. Okay.
So the author is talking about his experience going to Longdong for the very first time. And he described it as something pretty magical. So
wait, there's like magic there? Like things like just like change all of a sudden, or like you can like maybe go from like one place to the other with...
No, you're just describing a place as magical, sometimes because it's extremely pleasant. Something that is extremely pleasant, enjoyable, or exciting. Then you can describe it as something magical. For example, you could say, the moon looked magical as it rose over the sea. Because it was such a pleasant experience to see it like that. It's so pretty.
A moonrise. Not even a sunrise, a moonrise. A moon rising over the sea. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Or if I have, I don't really remember. But that's cool. I'm going to be on the lookout now for moonrises over the sea. Okay, continuing. When I got out of the car, I found myself on top of a cliff high above the sea. Oh, so you can actually drive up there and you're going to already be pretty high up on a cliff. So he was high up above the sea, so a nice view of the sea, get out of your car. Okay, continuing. As I walked, I got some breathtaking views of the rocks and ocean below.
Okay, well, you know what? If you can drive all the way up there, then I think I want to do that.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Because I don't have to go rock climbing, but I can still enjoy the view, right?
Yeah, some of the breathtaking views. There you go. So that was an example of seeing something breathtaking.
Okay, let's do that again.
Yeah. It takes your breath away. So it's something usually when we say something is extremely exciting or beautiful or surprising, you could say that it's breathtaking. It takes your breath away when you see it.
So pretty. Then I hiked down a steep trail to get to the bottom. Oh, okay. So after you drive to the top, and then you can also hike down a steep trail to get to the bottom. Okay, so steep, what does it mean? That's an adjective. A steep rise or fall is one that goes very quickly from low to high or from high to low. So for example, the stairs in our apartment building are very steep. And sometimes when you're walking up, down or downstairs, that's very steep. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to trip. There's some, actually in the building, I think here, they have pretty steep steps.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I like to stair climb, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, I climb the stairs in my apartment. I live like in an elevator building and it's like 12 floors, but I like to climb the stairs. But they're not very steep. So it takes more steps to get to, where you want to go. But yeah, like whenever I climb the ones here, I feel like, wow, they're so steep.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're also talking about a trail. So we took a trail right down, and a trail is a path through could be the countryside, through the mountains, something like that. So for example, the trail was longer than we expected. So we were tired by the end.
Can also be like a hiking trail too, because you love going hiking, right?
I do love going hiking, and yeah, I have to get up some rocks sometimes. So I'm an amateur rock climber.
Not a professional one, but an amateur, right? You kind of just do it for fun rather than doing it professionally.
Or if it's on my trail and I have to get past it, I got to do what I got to do. Okay, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续听作者分享他在龙洞攀岩的经验。他说他第一次去龙洞的经历非常奇妙。当他下车的时候，发现自己就在一座耸立于海面上的悬崖顶端。在走路的时候，他看到底下是很令人叹为观止的景色。接着就沿着一条陡峭的小路走到崖底。好，单字 magical 是形容奇妙的、神奇的或是有魔力的。steep则可以形容是陡峭的，或者是这个升降是很急剧的。那么 trail 它可以表达小径，尤其是这种山间啊、乡间或是林间的小径步道。而补充单字 breathtaking 则是形容壮观的、令人惊叹的。好，那么这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来介绍 find 加受词加受词补语的句型，表示发现什么处于某状态。动词 find 在这边表示发现、发掘。那么受词补语，你可以用现在分词 VING、过去分词 PP、形容词或者是介系词片语。那我们造两个例句。They found paparazzi waiting outside their house. 他们发现狗仔队在他们家外面等着。这时候受词补语是用到现在分词 waiting。第二个例句是 I found my mom asleep on the couch with the TV on. 我发现我妈在沙发上睡着了，电视还开着。那受词补语则是用到形容词 asleep。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
After just a few minutes, I found myself looking up at the cliff instead of down. My excitement grew as my friends and I got ready to climb. The cliff was beautiful. It was 70 meters tall and straight all the way up. I found it amazing that we were just steps away from the sea. Once my partner was ready, I began my climb. As I got higher, I heard waves crashing behind me. The salty smell of ocean water filled the air. My heart beat faster. I remember thinking, this is what climbers live for. Ever since that first trip, I have returned to Longdong many times. It's a great place to spend time outdoors with friends. There are few things I enjoy more than climbing by the Dragon's Cave.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So before the break, we were still looking at the article about the author talking about his experience of going to Longdong for the very first time. And he described it as something very magical because it was so beautiful.
Yes.
And the view was breathtaking, right?
Yeah.
And then he said that you can drive to the top and then he can see the cliff and the sea. And then there's a steep trail where you can take to get to the bottom as well.
Yeah, and I guess once you get to the bottom, then you climb back up.
Exactly. And then you start climbing again.
Yeah, okay. So continuing the story, after just a few minutes, I found myself looking up at the cliff instead of down.
Because he's already at the bottom.
Got to the bottom, now I said, wow, now that's where I just was up on top of that cliff. Ooh, now I'm going to climb this baby. Okay.
And my excitement grew as my friends and I got ready to climb. The cliff was beautiful. So I guess as a rock climber, you would find it very exciting when you're at the very bottom and you look at this very challenging task that you're about to take on, right?
Yeah, and I imagine, you know, some cliffs are just more beautiful than other ones too, you know, so this could just be an especially beautiful cliff. Okay, so it was 70 meters tall and straight all the way up.
Straight all the way up?
So not like at an angle or anything like that. It's just straight up.
That sounds so scary.
70 meters. Wow. I found it amazing that we were just steps away from the sea. That is so cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. I really like the part about the sea, how it's like right next to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so once my partner was ready, I began my climb. As I got higher, I heard waves crashing behind me.
That's pretty cool.
So what does it mean when I say the waves crashing behind me? Like the waves crash. So to crash, when you're talking about the waves.
Like a car accident? You crash into something?
It's different when you're talking about the waves.
Okay.
So waves crashing is when waves break and make a sound. You know, oftentimes you go to the beach,
like
you
when
can
they
hear.
get to the shore.
Yes, and then
They
you can
crash
hear the sound.
or they crash against the rocks. Or they crash against you if you're in the water. That's happened to me a lot of times.
That's right. Okay, so for example, you can say the waves crashed and the wind roared along the coast. Oh, I love the sound of that.
Okay, so continuing. The salty smell of ocean water filled the air.
I feel like I'm at the beach.
I know, I can imagine it. He's a good writer. My heart beat faster. I remember thinking, this is what climbers live for. Right? So it's just kind of that thrill, and it's kind of like the perfect conditions there, you know, to be out in nature, to be enjoying the beauty. It's one thing to be in the mountains in rock climbing, but if you could have the ocean right at your back, that would just be amazing.
Exactly.
So to live for something, what that means is just that it's the main motivation for doing something or something that really makes you happy or exciting.
That's right.
So you can, for example, you could just say, I live for eating cheesecake.
Oh, because you love cheesecake so much.
It makes me so happy.
Okay, well, let's continue. Ever since that first trip, I have returned to Longdong many times. It's a great place to spend time outdoors with friends. Okay, definitely, especially if you really enjoy rock climbing. But even if you're not a rock climber, I think Longdong just sounds like a fascinating, beautiful place to visit.
Yeah, right. So continuing, there are a few things I enjoy more than climbing by the Dragon's Cave. Okay.
Okay, and then we do have a what do you think question, right? So let me ask you, do you think you would enjoy rock climbing?
Yes, I think it would be a lot of fun because, like I said, I think I just have a little bit of monkey in me. Maybe I'm not very high in the evolutionary scale, so I'm still kind of like an ape. I like to climb things. I don't do it that often now because, as you get older, it gets more difficult to do those types of things. But I did think it would be a lot of fun, and I kind of regret that I never tried this type of rock climbing before when I was a bit younger. How about you?
Okay, I have to say I don't see myself as a rock climber, but from the author's perspective and of describing this magical place, I don't mind trying it. I mean, it sounds like an amazing experience, but I think I would have to do some training to build up more physical strength before I do that.
Yeah, me too. I think I would definitely have to. But I don't know. Now I'm just kind of a scaredy cat. I might be scared to do it. But no matter what, it sounds exciting and thrilling and quite magical. So
That's right. Longdong is a beautiful place.
Cool. So I'm happy we've learned about it. And now we have a new destination where we can go at least check out the beautiful views.
Exactly.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
作者走到崖底，他准备要开始攀爬了。那他很兴奋，觉得这一座悬崖真的太美了。它有70公尺高，一路笔直向上，哇，听起来很困难诶。当他的搭档一准备好，那他就开始攀岩。随着这个越爬越高，他听到背后的海浪拍打声，然后海水的咸味也弥漫在空气中，他的心跳加速。他还记得自己当时心里想着，This is what climbers live for. 这就是攀岩者所追求的。好，那补充一下 live for something 字面意思是为什么什么而活，以什么什么为生活目的，引申可以用来表达什么什么为某人所追求。那刚刚讲到作者兴奋的感受时， Shane 老师用到thrill 这个名词 T-H-R-I-L-L thrill 它表示刺激、兴奋或是激动。那课文单字 crash 在这边当动词，它可以表达碰撞，使碰撞猛撞，常常是指那种会发出巨大声响或是造成破坏的状态。好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们要介绍的句型是 few 加名词加比较级加名词，这可以表达什么什么是最怎么样的。那么 few 它表示几乎没有，带有否定的意思，可以搭配比较级来表达出最高级的语义。例如 ，Few things are more relaxing than a good massage. 好的按摩是最令人放松的。另外，这个句型也可以改用原级来强调最高级，那就会写作 few 加名词 as 形容词 as 再加名词。所以刚刚的例句也可以改成 Few things are as relaxing as a good massage. 好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
The first time I went to Longdong was pretty magical. When I got out of the car, I found myself on top of a cliff, high above the sea. As I walked, I got some breathtaking views of the rocks and ocean below. Then, I hiked down a steep trail to get to the bottom. After just a few minutes, I found myself looking up at the cliff instead of down. My excitement grew as my friends and I got ready to climb. The cliff was beautiful. It was 70 meters tall and straight all the way up. I found it amazing that we were just steps away from the sea. Once my partner was ready, I began my climb. As I got higher, I heard waves crashing behind me. The salty smell of ocean water filled the air. My heart beat faster. I remember thinking, this is what climbers live for. Ever since that first trip, I have returned to Longdong many times. It's a great place to spend time outdoors with friends. There are few things I enjoy more than climbing by the Dragon's Cave.
Are you into wood sculptures? If you are, today's site is the perfect place for you. Let's find out more about the award-winning Sanyi Wood Sculpture Museum. Sanyi Wood Sculpture Museum opened on April 9, 1995. Its main goal is to promote wood sculptures. The museum's building has a special design, and it won the first prize in the Taiwan Architecture Award. Sanyi Wood Sculpture Museum has a wood sculpture teaching area, exhibition rooms, and reference rooms. The museum also shows many wood sculptures related to our daily lives, such as furniture, architecture, and sculpting tools. Each month, visitors have a chance to learn how to make simple wood sculptures from professional sculptors. The museum's collection includes an introduction of wood sculptures, the styles of each Chinese dynasty, the origins of Sanyi Wood Sculptures, religious and temple wood sculptures, the special collection of fine wood sculptures, and others. Sanyi Wood Sculpture Museum shows the beauty of wood sculptures and also keeps this form of art to our future children. Wow, it's so fascinating to learn so much about wood sculpting. It really is an art form that requires a lot of skill and patience and deserves a visit next time you're in Sanyi.